What up, YouTube Digital? This is a response to Lambdog. I understand your frustration with the whole stand your ground law. I'm a little frustrated with that too, because people are idiots, but even though there's a lot of talk, I think you guys will be fine on that. It's not like you live in California. But anyway, realistically, what I've been saying in those videos is not shit I haven't been already saying. Yes, I used the situation to help raise awareness of how easy things could go wrong. I do understand what Haas said, that, it is one human life. But unfortunately, when you compound how many dumb fucks there are on here, one human life can become much more than one human life. And it's still dealing with the situation at hand. Is people that are okay with taking part of one of our most powerful acts we can do, but will not take the responsibility of doing anything else, or training, or thinking, or anything other to get to that end game. I understand that there's a lot of situations where in self-defense there might not be a time or a place to try to de-escalate or anything else. But just the same as there are those situations, there are situations that do offer those opportunities. And just because and now of course this has nothing to do with Lambdog, but just because you allow yourself to hold a gun and the power to end someone's life does not mean you have a right to end someone's life, because you have the complete lack of training to deal with the situation appropriately. Now, even though it is one kid's life, someone thinking that they can end someone's life but not go through any other training or anything else, even thinking about it mentally, that's free of charge, and they still can't come up with anything else but to end someone's life, that's just grossly, oh God, we as YouTubers should not be okay with this type of behavior. Self-defense is a whether you like God or not, considered a God-given right. It's a right that I acknowledge, that it's a right that if I had to, I would use. But at the same time, it's my responsibility to make sure that that right is used appropriately. Because after I use that right, I cannot go back and make it right, because of my errors. Now, it's funny how, as a society, we have forced the police departments and militaries and all this other bullshit to conform with all these fucking rules and everything else. But in all reality, is at the most we require a regular person is maybe an 8-hour class if they can get a CCW. That's it. We don't need to allow this to get out of hand, to come to a point where there are more changes put in place because people can't pull their head out of their ass. This is something that we should be self-policing, especially on here, where our views and our ideas and our philosophies and our, our visions of our, of life and everything are so public. Any one of these videos dealing with this situation could go viral, just the same as the situation became viral itself. When that type of situation arises, then we could have a problem on our hands as a community if a shithead's video is used. There's not a lot of things we can do in that factor, except we can openly discourage stupidity. Openly discourage people that just completely are assholes and dumb fucks that don't acknowledge anything else. These people that sit there and talk about, somebody walked up to me at a gas station, I'm going to pull out my gun and say, don't rob me, bro. We should not tolerate that type of behavior on here. There's not a lot we can do except voice our opinion. There's other things we can do is by not supporting that channel. Letting them know why. You don't have to troll them or anything. But at least at that point, if they were to go viral for whatever reason, there's plenty of shit all over here that says, we don't support this shithead. But unfortunately, these shitheads come and go all the time. And there are a lot of these shitheads on YouTube in different forms and fashions. Some of them might not be the killing jackasses, but it doesn't mean they're just as, or they're not just as nuts in other ways. There's people on here that think everything in life is a conspiracy theory that's going to end up killing them or some fucking bullshit. We should not put up with that behavior. But, I don't know. Anywho, I would like to see people on here take a stance, not on this whole Trayvon versus Zimmerman deal, but the simple fact of understanding that the power of taking someone's life is one of the greatest powers that you could have. And acknowledging the fact that you should do more to make sure that you use that power in the most correct way you possibly can. There's not going to be situations that this is used perfectly. But there's a huge difference between not used perfectly and just being grossly yeah. So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. If I have to use a container to help spread that word, then damn it, so be it. But in reality, I'm kind of done with it. I'm bored. Peace.